Hello and welcome to Community Service Spotlight. I'm your host, Bud Qualk, today, and we have Carol Smith and Kellie Russel. I've been getting that backwards all morning. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. And we've got Carol and Kellie here today, and we're Victory Through Grace, the Grace Ministries. Correct? I got that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us what's your title? What at the ministry? Kellie, what do you do?
Well, I am co-founder as well as executive director.
Co-founder, okay.
Yes, sir.
And Carol?
Same position. We both co-founded and we're both co-executive directors.
Okay, Victory Through Grace Ministries.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you do? Just give me an overall picture.
But first off, what Victory Through Grace Ministries is a free of charge counseling restoration home for young women who are survivors of childhood sexual abuse as well as sex trafficking. And we also are very committed into going out and educating our community. And then we also are very focused in on doing prevention for our youth.
Okay. And I know sex trafficking, most people think, oh, that doesn't happen around here. You know, in the United States, for gosh sakes, that's, from what I've heard, that's very common, and it's going on right underneath our nose most of the time. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
Very much. Whenever we first started doing research and stuff on it, I talked to one of the organizations here that was doing the foster care system, and she said that it was very prevalent here in Paducah, and it's been going on for a very long time.
Oh my goodness!
Right here in our own backyards.
Yes.
What would somebody on the street, average person, be looking for if they thought if something happened, or is there some indicator that they?
Well, most of the time, like a lot of schools are educated. You know, our caregivers are educated. There's programs out there, and they're looking for children who, you know, any type of domestic violence, sexual abuse, those things where they're not answering questions well. They're always kind of fearful or not showing up to school a lot. You know, there are a lot of warning signs that there is some type of abuse going on, and trafficking falls right underneath that. You know, it's really simple. People try to think, oh, that doesn't happen around here, but if a child is doing labor or sexual acts for the trade of money, room, board, you know, at the hands, 50% of this happens at the hands of their parents or caregiver.
Oh my gosh.
50%, over half.
Oh, right. Now, so sexual trafficking, and we'll talk more about that before this is over. This is really getting interesting already. What other services? I think you hit on, but
yes, we right now, like our goals for our house is to provide a loving home, safe home for long-term restoration for young girls. So these are young adult women who are survivors of, you know, domestic violence, child sexual abuse, and possibly trafficking too. And our goal is to provide that licensed counselor, long-term restoration, and to just feel secure and safe so that they can begin to heal. We are Christ-centered, so we offer Bible studies and just, you know, where's your identity found? You know, there's been a lot of lies that's been told to these young women. And so with that, we also offer classes, life skills, continuing education, so that these young women go back to work, they go on to get degrees, they go on to just be successful young women. And a part of that is by the time they reach Victory Through Grace, we've already failed them as a society to not have recognized this in schools, not have recognized this through caregivers or maybe neighbors that might be, you know, suspecting something is going on. So we want to prevent this. So by going to youth, our youth groups, educate and empower our youth and prevent this is where our heart is, so that we don't even have to have a home.
so people recognize that and investigate and find the situation. Do they ever, and I know this is probably the hardest thing for them to do they ever come to you and say, hey, I'm a victim of this, without somebody else already recognizing that? Does that happen very often? I know it's hard, no matter what, and spousal abuse is the same way.
Yes.
It's hard to make that one step because it's so scary. You know, you're leaving your whole life behind for most. Does that ever happen? Do they ever come directly to you to say, hey, I'm one
Right.
of them?
I think on occasion, but the majority of them, that's found typically in your schools or by a doctor. You know, we work closely. Physicians are educated to look for those signs. So a lot of times it's going to be somebody they trust, not necessarily an individual. So I think our first line of protection is to really educate our teachers, our physicians, our law enforcement, people who are out there and can really get in the mix of that. But, you know, it's very common for us to want to turn the other cheek and not get involved. But if people will, there are places that can help these young women and men that fall, prey to this.
And I'm sure there are some of our viewers out there, there's somebody out there that knows about some of this, what's going on, and they really didn't know where to report it or what to do. You know, that's why we're having this show, is so people can understand that this service really is out there for them. So let's go ahead and give our contact information now, and then we'll give it again at the end of the show. So if you don't have an ink pen now, get your ink pen during the show. But don't turn us off, but get an ink pen, and we'll give these contact information again at the end of the show. So what telephone numbers, emails?
Well, it would be good if you go to our website, and that's Victory Ministries, that's with an IES, .us, and as well as our phone number is 270-217-3305.
Okay. And do you have a physical location, or do you have an office?
Yes.
Okay.
Currently, like right here, we have a corporate office, but but we have a physical office where the actual home is, right here in Paducah.
Okay, so you are just a local, or are there other places across the state, or?
Right, we are just local, just local.
Okay, so you are the national headquarters.
We are.
Yes.
But we have two separate locations for that.
Okay, well, give us a quick, well, it doesn't have to be quick, please, no quick. How did you get started? I mean, did you get started, or you get started and then you
Right
call
here.
this?
She
Okay,
got
so
started.
tell us how it all began.
Well, basically, I am a survivor of being sexually abused by my biological father, and during that time while I was going through it, God just laid it on my heart that it wasn't for nothing, and that one day I would be able to help other young women, and just to be able to set free of all this horrific abuse and stuff that they've gone through.
Okay, and then
And she owns a photography studio that I met her 12 or 13 years ago now.
About 13.
And I just walked alongside of her, and God placed me there at the right time. Began walking through some of her healing, and that began to show me what this abuse looks like, what survivors look like, and being a mentor to that looks like. And then I became very passionate because I could tell all the lies that the enemy has stolen from her and taken from her. So at that point, I joined, locked arms with her, and we began to pursue having a house where long-term restoration, because she knows how vital it is to have safe, loving place where you're secure and that you can be taught what your self-worth is.
okay, and I got in my notes that I'd like to know what your goal is. We've kind of hit on it. You take them out of the bad situation and through
Right,
your services.
and we're not a rescue place. So there's a first line that rescues the young women. Then we get a call, and at that time, then we would begin the application process. Are they a good fit? So these women necessarily are not like out of jail or those type of situations. These young women have literally been rescued, or they have heard about what's going on, and they want long-term restoration. There's a commitment to long-term healing, licensed counseling, devoting your time to restoring yourself. So that takes some time. It's not just a quick 90-day program. This is really about restoring them so that they can be productive citizens, healthy mothers, good young women who are impacting future generations.
Yeah, it's a complete life commitment.
Correct.
A life-changing experience.
Yes.
Everything you're used to is going to be gone.
Absolutely.
All brand new.
Yes.
And is there certain ages? You talk about housewives and you talk about schools, and is there like, do you normally see this in very young children, or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, every one of our survivors has been a survivor of childhood sexual abuse.
Even though they may be older now?
They are, but see, we're talking, if they come to us at 18 through probably around age 30 is our target group that we house. But when we go out and we speak to our youth groups, we are talking to them about the life-destructing decisions that would lead up to causing them to fall prey to being abused, or just it gives them, equips them to have tools about healthy relationships, setting boundaries, going into schools, talking to our youth groups is our heart and our passion. We have an outreach department that does that, and they're a little bit younger than us, and they have excellent views on, some of the topics, identity and self-worth. So if we can already help our youth be empowered and educated, then they're not going to be as easily to fall prey to a lot of these things.
So you say 18 or older, that's the ones that you house. Is there another group that works with you for the younger children, or what if you went to school and they said, okay,
Right.
we've got a 12-year-old girl that we think has got a problem? Do you?
Refer them all. We would refer them to other organizations. We partner with other organizations that help younger. We just chose to start at 18 and not, help house the youth. We help the youth by prevention, education, and awareness and speaking, but we do not house the youth, but we do have organizations that we can refer to.
And when we started this, we also had realized that it was more, that they had a whole lot more programs out there for the youth than they did for the adults. The adults were being overlooked. So, I just know that it's really important. And I know from my life experience, it took me years of counseling. And I even went to a place out in California it was like a 30-day program, but it just wasn't enough. So I know, but I got a lot in that 30-day program. But it's just, like I said, it wasn't enough. And I just know that we have to have more intense. And two, in our program's different because we don't make them feel so confined. We do go out, and as they, the longer they're there, they get more freedom getting to go out and do stuff, because I understand the importance of that freedom that they need, and not to come back and feel like they're in captivity again.
Yeah, and I know there's maybe an opinion out there that, not mine, of course, but that once you get to a certain age, you ought to be able to fend for yourself.
Right.
But that's not always true.
You think about if they've been abused as children, they have been abused at a very young age. So a lot of times that mindset is still as a child. And so what we're doing is we are right there as they turn 18 years old in order to remold and reshape so that their mind, body, and spirit line up for really that the abuse they've had in the past does not define them. That is not who they are, and that their future is bright. And that, that way we give them strength and the courage and equip them with the tools that they need in order to go on and become, go on to school and get education and be very productive.
You said, picked up on it, you house them, you have, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Where is it, somewhere secluded maybe, where people can't find them, or is it?
Well, and these women come, they're not like in harm's way. It's not a shelter. It's not a, it's a safe place, a safe type of house, because we secure it, we have security and everything. But these women have come because they want to be there. They are free, and they are been completely free. So it's not like a house where necessarily we have to shelter them or anything like that, if that makes sense. And we just now are looking to purchase our house. We've been renting it, so we're extremely excited that we know we're moving forward in a capital campaign to purchase this house. It's a beautiful 6,200 square foot house that can house up to 8 young women at a time. And we've already been working with My Life, My Choices. And we have young kids that will come, and we'll teach them right there about, these programs for young women who are at risk. And we're talking youth. Okay, so under 18, and our graduates are part of facilitating and pouring into these young girls who are at high risk. So not only are we producing young women who are graduating, going on and getting successful jobs and great careers, they are also giving back to our community right here.
Okay, well, that's what I was going to say. If you wanted to volunteer, you two can't do it all, I'm sure.
Correct.
So you have other people working with you, or I guess they're volunteers?
Yes, we do.
Okay, say for instance I wanted to volunteer, how would I go about volunteering? Just call you or go online, or?
They would call us, and we would set up an interview with them and sit down and chat for a bit. And
Yeah, we always need good help. We're excited to have people partner with us. So they would call 270, the 217-3305. That number, they would talk to one of us, and we would get them, in steps in going towards what department would you like to help in? Is it the youth? Is it mentoring these young women that we have there? We have a lot of opportunities to volunteer, a lot.
Okay, well, I know that you don't have children, so you probably don't do background checks and that kind of thing.
Oh, we do.
Oh, you do?
Every
Good.
volunteer has to be 50 state sex offender. Yes, we partner with a ministry that does extensive background checks in order to volunteer with us.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's more and more prevalent, almost everything.
Yes.
Now, on the volunteering, if you volunteer, I'm on the board of a couple charitable organizations, and one of the things is making it easy for the volunteers. The volunteers, sometimes they say, well, I don't want to be tied down to doing something every day or every
Right.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I want my own life too. So I guess the volunteering is flexible.
Yes. We have
It
all
is.
different types of opportunities, and we always say, we in our lives and in our volunteers' lives, we want them to be obviously Christ-centered, because we are a Christ-centered organization, faith-based, and then we want them to put their family first. And then we are very flexible on the time that they volunteer to fit
Okay.
their needs.
Okay. So I could volunteer on Wednesday this week
Yes.
and Thursday next week
Or
or
once
whatever.
a month, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
We have
That's
all
good.
different kinds of needs.
Yeah, okay. I know that's a big thing in the charitable organizations that I'm on the board for. We have to make sure that happens, because some people, they just don't want to be tied down to Monday through Friday or something like
Exactly.
that. Okay. Now, if I think I need your services, and you say a lot of times it's picked up through the doctors or somebody get recommendations, and this other group that you work with also helps too. So if I was, and I'm sure you have abuse for men too, maybe you're
We
just
can
mostly
refer out
women?
for that. We have, people that we partner with that we can refer the men to
Okay.
organizations. Yes, if they will call us at that 217-3305
Mm-hmm.
number, we can, if it's not a good fit for us, we can pretty much find and refer them on to other organizations.
So many, back in the day, it was always sexual abuse, you always thought of women. But nowadays, you
Oh,
find
it's-
out there's a lot of men that are in the same situation, so.
Yes,
Okay.
you're absolutely
Okay,
right.
so say I'm a woman now, and I've had a problem, just like what you were talking about, and I've seen the TV show, or I've heard or whatever. How would they go about approaching you, saying, I need help? We've talked about the volunteers, what do they do? Well, what if I need help? What do I do?
They just give us a call. All they have to do is just call us.
And they
Exactly.
come in for an interview, or you go to them
Absolutely.
maybe if you have to?
Yeah, if we have to,
Absolutely.
we've traveled, yes.
Okay, that's good, because some people, everything's is confidential, I'm sure.
Oh, very much so.
Extremely confidential.
Very much so.
Yeah, for employers and friends and family and
Volunteers,
stuff.
everything,
Yeah,
the whole 9
because-
yards. It just keeps everything very private. Definitely.
Okay, and now, this is the big question. How can you afford to do all this? I'm sure a lot of it's not free. And you probably you're paying for it yourself. No, I'm sure you donate your time and stuff. But you got to have some way to finance it. So, is it through the church, or is it through donations, or do you do any fundraisers or anything like that, or?
Well, we do a mixture of things. First, we have our community is around us, and so it's individual people, like you, and then we have also churches that do it monthly, and then we also have like foundation grants that have done it. We don't take any state or government grant money because we would not be able to have Christ in it, and so, but we also, we need to have other people to come around us, and because we need like a couple people for night staff to be able to hire, and then also our capital campaign. And if people are interested in the capital campaign, they could give us a call, because we're going to be doing a thing at our place in about a couple months. So if they'd like to give us a call, we can give them more information about that.
And the good thing is we're a 501c3 tax deductible.
Hey.
That's
Yes.
very important. Everybody wants to know that. And we're extremely excited that we get to purchase this building and have it for years to come. Because that long-term restoration for that adult group, but you think 18, 19, 20-year-olds, those are somebody's daughter, somebody's baby that needs that help. And so if people want to walk alongside of this beautiful home, we encourage them to call us. We'll give them a tour. They are welcome to come and visit. We're going to be having luncheons coming up. We want people to come in and see what God's doing and what a change it's making in our community right here in Paducah. It's exciting. It's very exciting.
I can tell you're excited too.
I'm very excited. We're going to purchase this building,
Yes.
and we need people. We need help.
Okay,
So.
and this building, you won't tell us where the building is, probably.
No, but the people who are interested, they'll call us. We'll get them out there, and we'll have a little lunch with them, a little tea, and we'll just let them tour and see exactly what's going on. It's
Okay.
exciting.
Okay.
And it also is, it's going to be a big help to us by doing that, because like we pay $18,000 a year on rent. And that's practically somebody's pay that we could be paying someone.
Yeah.
So that's why, we've been in for 2 months, so we already paid out $36,000.
2 years.
2 years, yes,
Ooh,
2
baby,
years.
So
2 years.
that's rent going out the door. So
Yeah.
we want to take that money and be able to have staff, because there's nobody paid. We are 100% volunteer based.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, this is, I guess, is a pretty large house, I guess.
Yeah, 6,200 square feet. Beautiful home.
Only 6,200?
That's all.
That's bigger than my house. Yeah.
And it's designed for that. It's designed with the bedrooms and the girls and the suite mates and having the bathrooms. It is absolutely a house that was designed for restoration
like this.
and healing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably not that many out there like that.
No.
And especially that are available even.
And right here in Paducah.
Yeah,
And we were like,
who
what's
would've
the chances? Yeah, we are super excited.
Okay. Now, do you have a waiting list? Does every single person get to move right in, or is it sometime a waiting list for a little while?
Well, there are times that it is a waiting list. We have room for one more person, and then, that would be it until somebody does move out, that graduates the program. And it's just, everybody's individually based, because there's some people who need medical attention, and we're not a medical facility. So in that case, we do have a place that does do that, and then we would refer them to that type of place.
And most of your customers are from Paducah, or do you have people?
Over 50% of our residents are from right here in the local area or in Kentucky. We will take them from all over the U.S.
Oh my
but we
gosh.
have found that we have such a need right here in Kentucky too.
Yeah.
It's over the majority of our residents are, but
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So they find out about you from
rescue places
Other
all over
places
the
and-
United States. Yes,
Yeah,
all
we've been
over.
doing a lot of trainings, and through that we, network with other people, and so they know about us, and so when they get a rescue, they'll give us a call. And
Yep.
our community coalition meetings that we have every quarter at the bank. And I can't believe we have that many services in Paducah. And I didn't know about 90% of them.
Yes.
And like you said, you deal with the adults, and I know of a couple other groups that deal with the children.
Right.
Yes.
Right here in Paducah.
Yes.
And so that meeting, and I'm going to give a plug for our coalition meeting.
Yes.
We probably have between 20 and 30 or 40, sometimes even 40 different
a wonderful
groups.
gathering we've attended. It
Yes.
is
You
nice.
can find out that, hey, you do
We
stuff
network
similar.
with them all the time.
Yes.
It's
And the
perfect for
overlap.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's wonderful is that we also partner with, like you said, these other people that we've met there. We met one of our young ladies has 3 girls, 3 beautiful girls, and we partner with another ministry. They go over to that ministry and are there while she's getting the help she needs. So we're partnering with ministries who are helping the survivors' daughters.
Yeah.
and it's keeping them out of the foster care system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a great story, because that makes me feel good that we've been doing this coalition meetings every quarter for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.5 years.
We've been attending the last 2 years, and
Yeah.
it has been so beneficial. I would encourage anybody who wants
Definitely.
to know more about that to attend those. That's an important part of our community.
Yeah, and everybody gets to give a little commercial about what they
Yeah.
do, and then we also have a program, and hopefully it's what people want. We had one on grants. I know that was a big one.
Huge help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
huge help.
Do you have any really neat stories? We've got a few minutes left of maybe a success story. And I want to say, when you have somebody graduate, many times do they come back and help?
Yeah, yeah.
I would have thought that they would have been.
Yeah, let me tell you how excited. We're very proud of this. But our first group graduated after being 8 to 9 months in our program. And then they loved the program so much that they wanted to stay in the aftercare. Aftercare is optional. So they can stay after the aftercare. And then after that 8 to 9 months, they can begin to work or go to school. We have one in full-time cosmetology school who's doing amazing there and working at night. And she's the one who partners with us with the My Life, My Choices. She's teaching the youth. She's helping the youth. And then our other young woman whose daughter is in that facility that we partner with her children there. She's being reacclimated. She's a certified nurse's aide. She's working full-time. She loves her life now. She just has a whole new aspect on what the future holds for her, and she is a wonderful mother. So, already in some of our graduates, they are giving back. They're becoming wonderful mothers. They're going to school, and they're holding down full-time jobs and doing wonderful things.
That's what I was looking for. What happens when they leave? Are they just shoved out, or
No.
They still?
They are in our house, and we have an aftercare program so that allows them to work and stay there safely too. And go ahead, she can stay until she graduates this program. The entire time she's in school, she can stay until she graduates.
I'll be
And
darned.
we have it too where that they're saving their money. It's one of the mandatory things, because when they leave, we want them to be able to get their own apartment and, be able to pay their electricity and all those things that they need, so that they have to turn in a certain amount each month to us, and we have it, locked up for them. Then when they leave, it's their money.
Yeah.
And that way they have a savings when they walk out that door.
And they are ready to start their own life.
Okay, so it doesn't cost much for them to live there then.
It's free of charge
Free.
for them, even in aftercare. So what we're doing is developing those life skills about how to save and budget, so that when they leave, they already know what it costs to live out on their own and to save, and they have that nest egg. So we're preparing them even farther in aftercare for those life skills, applying them to
and
their
you're encouraging
daily
them to
life.
save money.
Absolutely.
Yes.
In my business, we tell them, if you make $10, you put $1 back for you. You
Absolutely.
pay yourself first
Yes.
before you go buy anything or purchase anything.
That's exactly what we
Yes,
do.
Yeah. Well, this has really been fun. I didn't realize you all existed. Even though you've been coming to our meetings and stuff, I don't put faces with different things, and there's so many that but anyhow, I'm so glad I got the chance to do this with you, because I didn't know this existed, and now it's one more arrow in my quiver if I ever need somebody that needs your services.
Yes.
And I want to thank you today for coming in.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
And it's not Carol Russell, it's Carol Smith and Kellie Russell from Victory Through Grace Ministries.
Yes.
And real quickly, give me your contact information real quickly.
We do call us at 270-217-3305, or go to www.net or www.victoryministries.us.
Okay, and I want to thank our viewer for tuning in today. This is Community Services Spotlight. I'm your host, Bud Qualk. Until next time, we'll see you.